Please stand for the national anthem, led by Dr. Thaddeus Bourne, and the invocation that will follow, offered by Nicholas Chryson. We welcome your participation in singing of the national anthem. However, we ask that you do keep your mask on while doing so. If you would, please bow your heads and join with me in a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to get here today, for the road has been tough. Thank you for these graduates, their families, their friends, this university, and the faculty here. What a joyous occasion this truly is. I pray that you would be with each of these graduates as they leave this place and go out into the world. You are a good and gracious God, and I thank you for all you do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. You may be seated. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our stage party. I will ask them to stand as I introduce them and remain standing until everyone has been recognized. I also ask that you please hold your applause so that we can recognize them as a group. Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr., Chancellor, Troy University. Our speaker, Mr. Tom Walker, founder and president of the American Village, and who will be more formally introduced later in the program. Dr. John Schmidt, Senior Vice Chancellor for Student Services and Administration. Dr. Carrie Palmer, Dean of the College of Education. And Dr. Ed Papanastis, winner of the Wallace D. Malone Jr. Distinguished Faculty Award, and who had the honor of carrying the mace in today's ceremony. May we recognize our platform party. It is now my honor to introduce our Chancellor. There's a great story our Chancellor tells about one of our young staff members who, a few years ago, in her introduction of him, enthusiastically announced that he began his service to the university in 1889. When the Chancellor took the podium, he graciously corrected the young staffer and announced to the audience that he actually arrived in Troy in 1989, although he might appear to have arrived much earlier. The poise and grace shown at that moment demonstrates the character and the personality of our Chancellor. Since his arrival in 1989, he has led Troy University through an era of unprecedented progress. Over his 31 years of service, the university now offers doctoral degrees in nursing, sport management, and global leadership. Intercollegiate athletics moved to the highest level of NCAA competition, and more than $300 million have been invested in campus construction, including this beautiful arena. And Troy has made the transition into an international university, enrolling students from 76 nations from around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Please join me in welcoming our Chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr.
Thank you, Dr. Tatum, and welcome to all the family members and friends to a day that we typically consider the most important day of the year, and I know to the graduates that's certainly true. I do bring you greetings on behalf of our Board of Trustees, and this is an interesting class, graduating class during an interesting period of time. As Dr. Tatum mentioned, my family and I have had the good fortune to serve Troy University for now more than 31 years, but I can't remember a more unusual year before this year. And this commencement ceremony is certainly typical of the uniqueness of this time in which we live. But we do see a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think it's a train. I think it's a light of relief and normalcy, perhaps, in the not too distant future, and we certainly hope that to be the case. So to the students who come to us from and graduates from 27 different states who are graduating this morning and 15 different countries, congratulations. I bring you a hearty congratulations on a really remarkable achievement. We're so proud of each one of you. It's my honor to introduce to you a number of special guests. All the guests here are special. I did want to call attention to a few, though. And the ones who I will introduce come to us in honor of our speaker today. I look forward to introducing him to you in just a moment. And they represent the Board of Trustees of the American Village, as well as the staff. If you're not familiar with the Village, let me encourage you to seek information, and when you are south of Birmingham, take the time to go there. I really believe it's the emerging Williamsburg of the Deep South. It reminds us of the coveted values that have made this country great, and they do great work. A lot of familiar buildings, including an Oval Office where the president sits, and you can go there for a photo without having to go to Washington, D.C. And so when you have an opportunity, please be mindful of the Village and the offerings it includes. But let me introduce our guest and ask you to hold your applause until I finished introducing each one of them. And they will be typically to my right, up in the corner there in a couple of the suites. Miss Betty Walker, the wife of our speaker, Mr. Tom Walker. Members of the Board of Trustees include Mr. Fred Crawford, and I understand from Mr. Crawford his granddaughter is enrolling with us in the fall of next year, and we look forward to that. Mr. Sam Johnson, Dr. Mildred Lanier, Mr. Gordon Martin, Mr. Steve Pickett, and we're delighted to welcome home Senator Cam Ward, a Troy alum and two-time SGA president here, and rounding out our Board of Trustees, and then the staff, the four members of the staff who could be with us today, and we're delighted by that. Mr. Mike Jones, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Val Crofts, the Chief Education and Programs Officer, Ms. Melanie Poole, the Communications and Marketing Officer, and Ms. Nancy Estes, the Officer of Historical Interpretation. And last but first in my life is my wife, Ms. Janice Hawkins. Please welcome each one of them with a round of applause. Thank you so much. No doubt Christmas is it's a special time of the year, a time for families, a time for friends, and it's a time to remember too and reflect upon family values, that cohesive element that keeps all of us together. Troy University values family values, and the families that support our graduates. And at this time, I would like the members of the families of our graduates to please stand up and, in particular, to give our graduates an opportunity to say thank you for your support, your love, and yes, maybe your financial investment. So if you're a family member, please stand up and let us say thank you. Thank you so much. And I know you understand the limitations and the social distancing required. Otherwise, this place would be more than full this morning. And so we're delighted that those of you who are here. So thank you. And to the class of 2020, I have but 4 simple things to challenge you to remember, if you will. 1, be active alumni. You know, the value of your degree is not stagnant. It will increase or decrease in time. We come to this place every day seeking to add value to your degree. I hope degrees given today are worth more than the degrees given 25 or 30 years or 40 years ago. That's what we try to do. We can't do that, though, without your involvement and your active support. And so just remember, your relationship does not end today. In fact, commencement means to begin. And to begin life, but to begin your lifelong journey with Troy University. The second challenge, I would say, to send us good students, just like yourselves. In fact, send us the best students that you know, just like yourselves. Third, speak well of your alma mater and work hard to add value to your degree. And fourth, perhaps the most important thing, because there are communities out there that await your leadership. I'm convinced we have a shortage of great leadership in this country and around the world, but you can make a difference. Indeed, Mother Teresa said, everyone can do something. And so there's a role for each one of us in our communities. We need you, and we need you to embrace that role of leadership for which you're prepared. It's my honor, too, to welcome you to the Troy University alumni family, a family that exceeds 160,000 graduates worldwide. They're found in every clime and place, too, around the globe. And so we're not restricted geographically, as is reflected in this very class. And I bring you a Christmas gift, and that is 1 year's free membership in the Alumni Association. But let me hasten to say 1 year. We want you to be active and to join the Alumni Association as it's mentioned on the ribbon above us this morning. So I congratulate you. I'm proud of you. And I'm particularly proud this morning to introduce our speaker. You know, Troy University enjoys a long tradition, as you know, in service to the military of this great country. In fact, of the 18 to 20,000 students we serve today, about 1/3 of those are military connected. And so this is a flag-waving place, and we're very proud of that fact, the support that we provide America and the men and women who defend our flag, and they know that freedom is not free. We know that here. Our speaker certainly knows that. He shares our values at Troy University, and he is the founder and president of the American Village, the village I mentioned just a few minutes ago. He conceived the American Village to teach the history and the founding principles of our great nation to the young people of Alabama and this nation. It's located on a 188-acre colonial village site, a beautiful location, and since its opening, it has attracted well more than 1 million visitors, including so many hundreds of thousands of students. It was chartered in 1995. As I mentioned, indeed, I think it's the emerging Williamsburg of the Deep South, and again, please visit. Tom is one of the country's foremost advocates of teaching American history, government, and yes, civic engagement, which reflects leadership. He's a patriot who understands that freedom is not free. Many people pay a high price, and all of us have an obligation to help preserve this delicate thing called a democracy. Mr. Walker is one of only 16 American citizens today who were appointed by the United States Congress to the National Commission leading our nation's 250th birthday celebration, which we will celebrate in 2026. He's a past recipient of the American Bar Association's highest national award to excellence in law-educated or related education. He has received the highest national award presented by the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Sons of the American Revolution. He earned his bachelor's degree with honors in history and political science at the University of Montevallo and his MA in political science at Mississippi State University. Mr. Walker served in municipal government and in higher education before founding the American Village, and he has written a textbook on state and local governments. He and his wife, Betty, have 3 children, and he probably will tell you about the latest addition, which occurred within the last month, and that's his grandson, of which he is very, very proud. Please join me in welcoming a leader, a patriot, and a great friend of Troy University, Mr. Tom Walker.
Good morning. Now, y'all got to do better than that. Good morning. All right, that's better. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor Hawkins, for about the kindest introduction I have had, and I'm so glad my wife was here to hear it. Your extraordinary record of service to Troy University and your leadership fashioned and transformed the Troy University system in sustained and remarkable ways, making a Troy degree one of academic excellence, globally competitive, and of immense value to its graduates. This great institution pioneered distance education while still knowing students by name and not by number, and exceptional teaching by highly qualified and dedicated faculty in the classrooms, the laboratories, or online is the heart of this enterprise, and matched with research and public service advancements will continue to distinguish this institution and thereby its students and its graduates. Troy University is a testament to the vision and work ethic of a great leader who, along with an active and dedicated board of trustees, have inspired a positive, dynamic relationship between students, faculty, staff, administration, alumni, families of students, and the general public. Thus, I am very honored to be at Troy University today. When Abraham Lincoln said the words, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here," he easily could have been describing the challenge of being a commencement speaker. For rightly, a commencement address is not the main event, it's just a warm-up for the celebrated rite of academic passage we call commencement, literally a beginning for graduates. Today you'll be conferred your degrees, and no commencement address can begin to top that in importance, and I won't even try. This day, in the busyness of the season of our lives, recognizes something important is taking place today, that we are marking a major milestone in the lives of these graduates. And I would say this too, here in this arena, there's an abundance of love and pride. For most of you graduates, a part of your support team is here. And seeing all the parents and loved ones who stood up a few minutes ago, I want to say something on their behalf. It's something I felt about our own children, our own 3, when they received their degrees. How hard it is for parents and loved ones who knew you way back when you were just a child to tell you something deeply heartfelt. It seems we just blinked our eyes. We looked away a moment here and there, and you grew up on us. Now, I know that may sound corny, but I can tell you it brings heartfelt emotion days like this. You have to know today is a time of great joy, love, and pride for this important milestone. All of us want you to know in times of joy and sorrow, in achievement and disappointment, confidence and uncertainty, to cherish the gift of life that is yours. You are a blessing to us and to others. And if you take nothing else away from what I say today, never, ever discount your value to others or our love for you. So that's the most mushy part I'm saying today. A few here may remember, and seeing the age before me, it will be a very few who remember Art Linkletter, who hosted a TV show and wrote a book called Kids Say the Darndest Things. I was shocked when I became a parent and I found myself saying the darndest things. The day when I became a dad, I panicked. I didn't know enough, and now here was this baby. And he didn't come with an instruction manual. So you see, there's no real guide to being a parent. You do get a lot of advice. And somehow along the way, you pick up cues and clues of how to be a parent. And the next thing you know, you think you're ready to give advice. I know at some point our 3 children thought I must be the spokesperson for the National Safety Council. I told them, and actually every friend of theirs that came over to the house as they were leaving, be careful. Now, has anyone heard those words, be careful? Be vocal today. This is a joyous day. Well, as to my parents, my own father offered tidbits every now and then of a more specific and usually very practical nature, especially when I got a car. Son, my dad pronounced, oil is the lifeblood of your car's engine. He repeated it very often. Even when I was into my 50s, he would ask, have you changed your oil lately? It is true, you get to be a parent and, well, you just have this primal urge to give advice and give it frequently. And so on behalf of the parents here, I just have to tell all of you receiving a degree, you should change your oil regularly. And you should be careful. Along my life's journey, I've discovered a few things. I'll share in 10 very brief tidbits with you. Please remember some of them. They could be on an exam at some point. Number 1, your Troy education has prepared you for a life of learning, adapting, creating, innovating, and meeting challenging and changing times. Even as you face a world of increasingly rapid and complex change, I urge you to be grounded, to be you, to be authentic, to hold on and build your life on the core values which define who you are, your faith, your principles, your character. And remember always, Troy believes in you. 2, I would challenge you to stay in touch, and Dr. Hawkins did not ask me to say this, but it's kind of a repeat. I urge you to stay in touch with your alma mater. It's your university. Regularly support it as active alumni. Talk it up. Be a recruiter of talent. Contribute annually as you can to support it. Come to sporting events. Go Trojans still should be part of your life, and let others know the true meaning of Trojan pride. And as Dr. Hawkins said, there is another reason to that. When your alma mater advances, the value of your Troy degree increases as well. And thankfully, you chose to come to this place, and you today receive a degree of high value. 3, It is worthy of your sacrifice, and your loved ones have made for it. Consider that degree you receive a great treasure. Use it wisely in service to your profession, your community, and to society. Remember that the gift of education does not make anyone better than someone else, but it does prepare you not just to earn a living, but more importantly, fully to live a life of learning, giving, serving. For your most fulfilling life's journey will be when you discover your true passion, your love for what you do in your career, in your civic life, in your personal life. 5, the best advice I can give for success is to set a worthy goal. And I would say make it a stretch goal that you believe in, to equip yourself with what they said of the astronauts, the right stuff, whatever that may be, and to be persistent in pursuing the goal. I strongly believe that persistence is the greatest contributor to success. As we were beginning the American Village, I had an absolute personal determination to make something happen, big or small, each and every day. Resist the if only club, where everyone sits around moaning and groaning and commiserating that things would be so much better if only this or that happened. That mindset leads nowhere you want to go. Pursue your goal and determination with the 2 big P's, perseverance and persistence. 6, you may find adversity and disappointment. Your career may very well detour in unexpected ways. I can tell you such detours more often than not will end up as blessings that give you additional talents and tools, perspective, experience, empathy, new paradigms, other assets. No matter the adversity, no matter how challenging the times are, and we can certainly all agree, these times are challenging. Keep in mind Ralph Waldo Emerson's words of wisdom. This time, like all times, is a very good one if we but know what to do with it. And mentioning Emerson reminds me that a good book and reading make for great treasures in living. 7, find and keep good company, trustworthy friends and mentors. Nourish the bonds of friendship and of family. As the old hymn exhorts us, count your blessings, name them one by one. 8, because of my role as founder and president of the American Village, you will not be surprised that I would also encourage you to be a steward, a protector, actively of the gift of liberty. Thomas Jefferson said that the God who gave us life gave us liberty as well. It is enlarged and maintained only by hard work and sacrifice. Every American ought to be grateful to those who first stood for it, and those in every generation, from embattled farmers at Concord Bridge in 1775 to John Robert Lewis and others at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma in 1965, to those veterans in this arena who have served our country, and to those around the globe today who are in harm's way. We must never fail to acknowledge with gratitude their service in the cause of liberty. And I say, hats off to this university for its principled, unwavering commitment to honor and serve our veterans. America's great defining documents, the Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, are bookends, if you will, of a remarkable American Revolution, of a time that the American people came together and declared that liberty was more important than life itself. I hope you hear carefully That declaration asserts that we, and I think it's important to note it uses the word we hold these truths to be self-evident. And it goes on to hold liberty as a sacred, God-given endowment bestowed upon each and every human being, the equal right and possession of them. And our great Constitution, the Miracle of Philadelphia, likewise begins with the same word, we, and it proceeds to outline through we the people our contract of self-government with one another. This nation has given us much, but it's been said that the defense of liberty requires more than the pursuit of happiness. We owe our country our dedicated service as good citizens, for we are the guardians, we are the stewards of what Washington called the sacred fire of liberty. We, the people, enjoy incredible liberty and freedom unparalleled in the world. When our Constitution was framed, it was to make way for we, the people, working together to form a more perfect union. To each person in this arena, that great work, that great cause is not finished, and it is a worthy civic commitment and noble work I encourage you to take up and make it your own. It's a cause that calls every man, woman, and child gathered here. 9, one of the greatest treasures of life is love. Too often our love goes unspoken. Be bold, break that barrier, and if those around you don't say, I love you, you say it. Right before Christmas many years ago, my dear daddy had a gun held to his head, and he was robbed in broad daylight in downtown Birmingham. He said the gun was touching his head. By the grace of God, he was not shot and killed that day. But I can tell you, it shook our family up. And beginning that day, and every day since, our family ends almost every single conversation with the simple, heartfelt words, I love you. We know that generations may not share the same outlook on things, but love is the glue that holds us together, and I believe in saying it. 2 weeks from today, many of us will celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Jesus said, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you. This world and our society desperately need more love. Boldly, with gladness, be among those who share it by word and deed, day by day. Number 10, finally we got to number 10. I want to be encouraging to you. Several years ago, my wife Betty, and by the way, we have an anniversary next week. It will be number 44. And she's my best friend, and I aspire for you to find your best friend. Several years ago, we heard Captain Charlie Plum speak. He had graduated from the Naval Academy at Annapolis, and he went on to be a fighter pilot flying the F-4 Phantom jet on 74 successful combat missions over Vietnam. On his 75th mission, with only 5 days left in the service before he was to return home, Captain Plum was shot down, captured, brutally tortured, and imprisoned in despicable conditions for almost 6 years as a prisoner of war in a communist war prison. He could easily have emerged from that experience mourning, regretting the 6 years of his life that he had lost. Yet, instead, he emerged thankful for his life and thankful for what he called the parachute packers of his life. Literally, that unknown person who had packed his parachute so it properly deployed, and he survived being shot down. And he thanked other parachute packers in his life that lovingly had helped him along life's way. So my final advice is to remember and be grateful for the parachute packers in your own life who made it possible for you to celebrate this glorious day. And may we all be parachute packers for others. Graduates, I hope these 10 tidbits of advice and regular oil changes will serve you well. Sincere congratulations to each one of you. In the words of the old Christmas movie, it's a wonderful life that awaits. May God richly bless each and every one here today.
Mr. Walker, that was absolutely outstanding. Thank you for your inspiration. And I would add a footnote, too, to that. It's a wonderful life, and Christmas is not Christmas without watching that movie. But in that movie, played by Jimmy Stewart, was George Bailey. And Bailey wondered, what would this world have been without me? And I think he answered that question. The world would never have been the same without him, even though he questioned his very value. I say to you that this world is better because of Tom Walker, and I hope you did take note of those 10 points. Tom, thank you for your inspiration, and thank you for being here this morning. Please join me in saying thank you one more time. Thank you.
Celebration for each of our graduates and their families, and the level of excitement and pride is understandable. But before we proceed with the awarding of the degrees, may I ask your help in 3 ways. Number 1, please remain in your seats to take photographs of graduates in order that everyone may see. Number 2, please moderate in your applause and celebration as graduates cross the stage. And number 3, please remain in your seats until the graduation ceremony is concluded. Will the candidates for the associate's degree please rise? Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? Dr. Hawkins, these candidates have completed all requirements for the bachelor's degree, and on behalf of the faculty, I recommend that the degree be conferred.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and approval by the Chief Academic Officer and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Troy University, it's indeed a pleasure for me to confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree you have earned. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. Please change your tassel from the right side to the left side, and you may be seated. Will the graduates for the master's degree please rise? Dr. Hawkins, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the master's degree, and on behalf of the graduate faculty, I recommend that the degree be conferred.
Upon the recommendation of the graduate faculty and approval by the Chief Academic Officer and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Troy University and the laws of the state of Alabama, it's indeed a pleasure for me to confer upon each of you the master's degree you have no doubt earned. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. Please change your tassel from the right side to the left side of your caps, and you may be seated. Will the candidates for the doctorate degree, please rise. Dr. Hawkins, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the doctorate degree, and on behalf of the graduate faculty, I recommend that the degree be conferred.
Upon the recommendation of the graduate faculty and approval by the Chief Academic Officer and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Troy University and the laws of the state of Alabama, it's a real pleasure for me to confer upon each of you the doctoral degree you have earned. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated. At this time, the graduates will come forward to receive their degrees. Dr. Palmer.
Will the graduates who have earned the bachelor's degree please come forward? Tiana Livingston, magna cum laude. Amber Love, cum laude. Termiwa Akintode. Hannah Nicole Crowder. Jalen Brianna Prowell. Emily Lynn Odell, cum laude. Megan McVarden, magna cum laude. Danielle Poor, summa cum laude. Deja Janine Alicia Thrash, summa cum laude. Michaela Cameron. Diamond Long, summa cum laude. Shankiltra Diamond Lachey Osborne. Alina Griffith. Alexis Mallory, cum laude. Victoria Morgan. Moriana Watson. Modesha Edison. Raven Everett. Narita Fairbanks. Destiny Anderson. Aubrey McDaniel. Rachel Ward, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Brianne Tarleton. Brianna Gibbs. Mavis Owuku, summa cum laude. Kayla Hatcher. Ariel Hutcherson. Monique Mills. Jessica Phillips. Asia McCall, cum laude. Hakeem Jeffrey Johnson, Jr. Charity Celeste Lewis. Alexia Shantera Dubose. Samantha Finch. Melissa Daughtry. Alexander Valari. De'Ara Skanes. Ethan Miette, cum laude. Erica Allen, magna cum laude. Cody Clayton. Ethan Deal. Kelsey Felton Sarmiento, magna cum laude. Myrna Pope. Victoria Grace Norfleet, summa cum laude. Alfonso Leon Johnson, Jr. Hunter Irby. Olivia Joyce Harrell, summa cum laude. Savannah Hollis, summa cum laude. Kayla Infinger. Brianna Summerlin, magna cum laude. Matthew Peter Shireman. Hannah Wilson, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Taylor. Logan Mark Coughlin. Chase Mosley, cum laude. Alexandria Fowler, cum laude. James Mathis. Shelby Wright. Anna McClintock. Taylor Caesar. Andrew Brett Goodson, summa cum laude. Carla Green. Patrick Ferguson. Hannah Elizabeth King, magna cum laude. Khalil McLean. Jared Michael. C. Sarah Callagher, summa cum laude. Audrey Ballard, summa cum laude. Catherine Ursao, cum laude. Madison Claire Powell. Shelby Lane Evans, cum laude. Sarah Kate Jones, cum laude. Julia Phibb. Mallory Hope Wallace. Shakira Creighton, cum laude. Reese Casey. Kimberly Danielle Crawford. Morgan Miller, cum laude. Rose Lewis. Abigail Brumbelow, summa cum laude. Abby Hagler, summa cum laude. Macy Claire Jacobs, cum laude. Bailey Alexis Teal, magna cum laude. Anna Grace Nobles, magna cum laude. Mary Lee Butler, summa cum laude. Carly Stone. Catherine Leslie Byrne, cum laude. Hannah Shea Reynolds. Peyton Lamy, magna cum laude. Megan Colquitt, cum laude. Taylor Santana Hamrick. Kayla Lynn Mitchell. Presley Scherer. Cameron Gabriel Williams, summa cum laude. Caleb Finn, cum laude. Robert Lake Najor, Jake Najor, excuse me. J.C. Michaela Norman, cum laude. Mallory Elizabeth Woodall, summa cum laude. Destiny Elise Scott. Catherine Danielle Halfley, magna cum laude. Chastity Morgan Barlow. Matthew Coate, summa cum laude. Jordan York, summa cum laude. Madison Roussel, summa cum laude. Rachel Lee Cosby, cum laude. Kendrez White. Naray Cook. Grayson Williams. Lindsay Starr, cum laude. Chloe Brown, cum laude. Kalian Denise Goss. Davis Whitfield, magna cum laude. Dustin Ty Stewart. Luke Whitmore. Dylan Bradshaw. Matthew McKinley. Danielle Nicole Tyus, summa cum laude. Dustin Wiesenhunt. Ty Gray, cum laude. Nyla Foster, magna cum laude. Paisley Calhoun. Nicole Harris. Travis Thompson. Ivy Bach, summa cum laude. Jacelyn Joy Dudinsky, summa cum laude. Talia Harris. Chelsea Ayana Annalise Blunt, cum laude. Taylor McLean. Cassidy Bloodsworth, magna cum laude. Brian Knight. Ebona Dion Boyd. Justin Ortman, summa cum laude. Richard Alexander, Jr. Joseph Nixon. Hein Dow, summa cum laude. Caleb Wright. Alina Brooke Ragsdale, cum laude. Rachel Moody, cum laude. Rosanna Thrash, summa cum laude. Amanda Thrasher, summa cum laude. Shelby Lakin Turner. Danielle Maria Battistini. Jordan Sheehan Thomas. Sydney Sanders, summa cum laude. Ataria Montgomery. Marissa Campbell, magna cum laude. Tyler Van Zandt. Shaquila Sewell. Nikayla Shakol Carr. Reggie Todd. An Vo. Joseph Bryan, magna cum laude. Lawson Lowry, magna cum laude. Caitlin Waldiga. Bailey Gaylord, magna cum laude. Sarah Ashley Sparks. Angel Marie Hill, cum laude. Alexis Autumn Gramling. Brittany Shantae Baldwin. Taylor Alexis Smith. Renee Stadler. Lucero Maria Blackman, magna cum laude. Claire Stewart. Madeline Brooke Kelly, cum laude. Catherine Nicole Silva. Aaliyah Deanne Reynolds. Jaren Kent. Avigya Jamere, summa cum laude. Reginald Steele, summa cum laude. Kinsley Morgan, magna cum laude. Haley Nicole Johnson. Shutwan Green. Alexis Monique Edwards, cum laude. Shazmi Cochran. Shazmi Cochran, thank you. Jewel Nadine Williams. Amber Hall Island, cum laude. Herlinda Nicole Ellis, magna cum laude. Alexander Galloway. Shamaria Thomas. Raquel Cole. Kennedy Lawson. Maggie Lynn Thompson. Emma Catherine Bernay, summa cum laude. Letitia Monique Tolliver. Lydia Bearfield. Kay Ellis, cum laude. Carly Noel Parker. Taylor Alexandria Tinney. Jacob Eastall, cum laude. Reagan Carpenter, cum laude. Hamilton Salter. Victor Nieves III. Latita Thomas. Sidney St. John. Emily Barenko, cum laude. Erica Brooks. Peyton Michelle Williams. Krista Ellen Atkinson, magna cum laude. Megan Green, cum laude. Jordan Ratliff. Tamaya Bell. Ashley Braden. Michaela Fisher. Anna Claire Sparkman. Savannah Hansen. Madison Gibson. Kamisha Atwood. Cordarius Tyler Holmes. Sandrea Smith. Koya Raleigh. Kendra Coates. Fundu Nafia Jones Clondy, cum laude. Dejai Sharon Bruce. Will the graduates who have earned the master's degrees please come forward? Selena Antolin Hardy. Emily Blumberg. Leanna Janae Fontaine. Jade Robinson. Christopher Edward Wallace. Takara Monet Traylor. Alicia Dawn Whittington. Janae Jordan. Reed Riles. LaShonda Nicole McClellan. Jaquila Powers. Amberly Ware. Ramona M. Wilson. Kiana Kinshell Rudolph. Samantha Moody. Carly Ann Clements. Jessica Willis. Mandy Irby. Francine Boyette. Jerry Stephen Sanders II. Sarah Cummins. Takira Peterson. Miranda Horn. Chastity Riddick. Kenethra Burt Kelly. Nicole Frost. Heather Bonita Miles. Haley Marie Neal. Robert Stephen Sherman. Rebecca Lynn Heinzelman. Rawan Sawali. Melody Quandessa Kennedy. Desanique Thomas. Sherelle McGaskin. Brianna Naona Ely. Heather West. Candace Davis. Kristen Lee Smith. Courtney Taylor. Casey Colburn Hartzog. Brianna J. Jones. Chloe Lynn Hammock. Jamilius Williams. Reginald Wells, Jr. Ashley Moore. Blaine Lipford. Michael Ann Amison. Will the graduates who have earned the doctoral degree please come forward? Keosha Townsend. Mallory Stacy Blika. Anna Lambert. Rachel Hand. Josiah Allen. Michelle Owens. Yinikanwa Oniyama. Octavia Aubrey Ingram.
Chancellor Hawkins, may I ask that you and Mr. Thomas G. Walker, Jr. please come forward. Dr. Hawkins, I present to you Mr. Thomas G. Walker, Jr. Mr. Walker is the founder and chief executive officer of the American Village Citizenship Trust in Montevallo, Alabama. Mr. Walker enjoyed a successful career in higher education and municipal administration before founding the American Village. As the American Village was founded to inspire our youth to be good citizens and to be fully grounded in Americans' founding principles of liberty and self-government, Mr. Walker has created a living museum where the very best of American experience is on display each day. The Board of Trustees has recommended that Mr. Thomas G. Walker, Jr. be awarded the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree as a tribute to the devotion he has demonstrated to his home state and the nation as a whole through his commitment to civics education.
Thank you, Dr. Tatum, and I must admit to you this is an unannounced surprise for our honoree today, but upon the recommendation of the Board of Trustees and by the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of Alabama and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, it's indeed an honor for me to confer upon Mr. Tom Walker the Honorary Doctor of Laws. Tom, congratulations.
Congratulations again to all of our graduates. We invite your participation in singing of the Alma Mater, which is at the bottom of page 4 in your program. To promote safety, we ask that you keep your mask on. The Alma Mater will be followed by the benediction offered by Nicholas Chryson. Please remain in your seats for the recessional to leave the arena and the graduates as well.
A journey never ends with the promise of the future and the guidance of the past. We pledge a solemn vow to thee, loyal everlast. So raise your mighty Trojan sword, a beacon to the world. Throughout the ages brightly shines the guiding light of Troy.
If you would bow with me. Lord, again, we thank you for all you have done and all you are doing. I pray that we will soon see your plan through these hardships we were all living through. I pray that you would grant us all good health as we leave this place today. Thank you for allowing these men and women a chance at furthering their education and that they may use it to glorify you. In all these things I do pray. Amen.